All right. So I am here with the insanely talented. I, I mean, there's so much to say. Actress, singer. I mean, Tony winner, Grammy winner, two-time Academy Award winner, Cynthia Erivo.
A nominee, not yet, but thank you for wishing that on me.
What
That's
did I
amazing.
do? What's wrong?
You said two-time Academy winner, which I
Oh,
will.
I meant nominee. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I covered that energy from you. Thank you very much for saying
Yes,
that.
there you
Thank
go.
you.
So you are doing PBS National Memorial Day concert,
Yeah, yeah,
which is looking a little bit different this year.
yeah.
What are you going to be doing?
I'm singing two different songs. One for the heroes of COVID-19, those who are working to make sure that we are well, saving lives every day, making sure that we're fed, all of those people, and the other for our heroes in general. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
And what does exactly Memorial Day mean to you?
Well, I guess it's because I've done this before with PBS, and there's a really wonderful spirit that happens when you perform or when you're in that space, and it's the time you get to reflect on the lives that were risked to save others, really, and the lives that have been lost, and those who've been left behind as well. And for me, I think it's a really wonderful, reflective time to thank those who've put their lives before uh, our lives before their own, rather. It's a great honor to be included in that as a British woman. To be able to help to celebrate that moment is quite special. Yeah, and
I
especially now
mhm.
that we're using Memorial Day to also celebrate people who are risking their lives right this second. That is really special to be able to say thank you that way.
And how are you doing your performance? I know like Trace Adkins was on a top of a building in DC and he was like,
Yeah,
it's crazy because nobody was there. What,
yeah.
what will you be doing?
I was in my home, and I'll be singing uh, from my living room,
That's
essentially. Set it up
awesome.
so it look beautiful, and you'll see me doing that. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to it.
Mhm.
And on your career, on a career note,
Yeah.
first of all, I love. It's one of my favorite movies ever. Is Bad Time at the El Royale.
Oh my
Um,
God! Thank
I
you.
absolutely love that movie.
Thank
You
you.
killed it.
Yeah.
Just such a cool movie, such a cool character. What was that like for you? You know, doing that film.
I mean, I had the best time. Honestly, I had the best time. Drew, my director, Goddard, is one of the nicest, most intelligent, most effusive people to ever be in the presence of, and he was so excited the entire time that it sort of was infectious. You're sort of like, he's excited, so I'm going to be excited because he's excited about it. And it's one of those moments where you could do a scene 15 times, 10 times, and it would just never get old, because really what he's looking for, at one point, he's gotten the performance. He just wants to see it again. He just wants to let us play and keep going and trying new things. And so we could be there for ages and ages. And our poor line producer, Mary, would be like, we have to wrap this up now. Let's get it going now. But he just created such a wonderful atmosphere that you couldn't help but want to be around him, and you couldn't help but want to be in the space. It was a wonderful experience just because we created a hotel on set. So we were on a studio setting, but he created an entire hotel with a parking lot, in the right way, and it just was like, it was amazing. To be part of that was awesome, and to be able to sing live and to be able to do the thing I do, and be provided with the space to do it in was awesome. It was awesome. Like, it was just great. I had a great time. I mean,
I
I'm in Vancouver, and like it was just great. Like, transformed to like the 60s.
Yeah, and one of the things that I loved is that it really, for you especially, it encapsulated so many of your talents into one like, you know, bomb of talent. I don't even know what to, I just love it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It pushed me to be able to do, I wanted to sing live on set anyway, and to be able to do, I think there's a scene that is a one-er, so it's one take all the way through. And I think, what am I singing? I'm singing This Old Heart of Mine, This Old Heart of Mine. And we did that 27 times, and wow. I think take 27 is the take.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it took we're just figuring out what the rhythm is, and because there's 5 people, there's 5 different characters plus the person who walks in, John, who is walking into set, and it was just all of these small pieces sort of coming together, having to find out what that looked like. I'd never experienced anything like that before, and I just had the best time doing it. I really was okay, let's figure out how to make this work, and I'm good to go. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, and it really, as a film lover, I'm a huge film buff. Obviously, I have a show called Pop Culture Weekly. It's just such a cool movie. It's 7 people total, and pretty much one location. Just an incredible. I just love it, and I loved you in it. So
thank you.
Yes, Color Purple.
Yes.
Was what I would say was a huge break for you. What was that like? I mean, first of all, Mama O, Oprah, who I had done some episodes of her show, Oprah's Life Class, who absolutely changed my life. And did that change your life? Did, The Color Purple end up changing your trajectory?
Yes. There's no complicated answer for that, to be honest. I always say, if it wasn't for The Color Purple, I probably wouldn't be doing the things I'm doing, and I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now about these things at all, because the fact is, it started with this very small play. I did The Color Purple in the UK, and then Mama O and my producer Scott Sanders decided that they wanted to put it on Broadway again, and took me over with my director John Doyle, who I love him to bits, said he wouldn't do it without me. So I came with him to do this show on Broadway. Had no idea what I was in store for. I had no idea what it was going to be. And I was just happy to be on Broadway, to be honest. For some people, that is the dream. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to achieve this huge achievement. So we get there, and this thing just sort of takes off. And you couldn't have told me that was what was going to happen. And the moment that happened, my life just sort of changed completely. It's been unbelievable. I always say it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Because it really is. It's just endless.
And then, from that, so that was what, 5-ish years ago or so?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, 2015, 5 years ago. Wow.
Yeah. So in that, I mean, you've had multiple dreams, that people work their entire lives for, just for one of these things. And you've done that multiple times in 5 years. I mean, performing on the Grammys with John Legend, performing at the Oscars a couple of months ago. It has to be a whirlwind for you.
Totally. Totally. I mean, sometimes I have to sort of sit for a minute and take stock of the things that have happened, because I think it's too easy for us to sort of normalize the things that happen to make it easy to process. But none of those things are normal, because the fact is, when I was on stage singing at the Oscars, a year or 2 before, I had dreamt of doing that.
Wow.
I just didn't know to what extent that would happen. So it's one thing to stand on stage and sing. It's quite another to stand on stage and sing the song that you've co-written and been nominated for.
Mm-hmm.
That is a different thing altogether. And I don't know that I would have expected it to happen like that. And to be doing that and experiencing something like that, that's more than the dream. More than the dream. So this has been a complete whirlwind, and I'm learning every day, and new things are happening every day, and I'm sort of just open to the possibilities. I think those things happening have sort of opened my eyes to the fact that anything is possible. Yeah.
I love that. And then Harriet, I mean, wow. Speaking of, the Oscars and your performance, What what was that like? I mean, she is obviously a historically, important figure, a legend,
Yeah.
and changed history. What was that like having that kind of, I can ask you this now that it's over, but what was it like having that kind of weight on your shoulders?
It was, I guess, daunting in some respects, but I sort of was making sure that I was prepared and ready, both physically and mentally, to be able to play the role. More than anything, I took it as a responsibility to make sure that, or at least try to make sure that I did her as much justice as I possibly could, to make sure that I told her story as truthfully as I possibly could, because that's really all anyone can ask for, and that's me doing my job to try and do it to the fullest. But yeah, there are moments, when you're standing on, because I did a lot of my own stunts, and you're standing on the side of a cliff, and you're sort of like, this is scary,
Mhm.
this is scary. But I think that's part of the beauty of something like that it doesn't come easy, and that you can, at the end of it, say, I put all of my best work in, on all of me into it, and I put as much as I could possibly put into it, humanly possible to put in it, so that feels rewarding when you get it back. I think, yeah, when it doesn't come easy, it feels rewarding afterwards. Yeah.
When you know it doesn't come easy, it feels rewarding afterwards. I love that.
Yeah.
So, what's next for you after after PBS Memorial Day concert?
Yeah.
What can we expect? I know you're doing something with a movie potentially version of the Carrier podcast, right?
Yeah, so they when we did the podcast, they put me down as a producer on it, and I, like, actively, which is really awesome. So we are looking at possibly turning Carrier into a movie, and I think we found our studio, so we're sort of in
Awesome.
conversation for that. The Outsider is out on HBO, which I just did,
Yes,
with the Stephen King adaptation, which I loved and I'm really proud of. So have people watch that, because I think people should go back to it. It's really cool.
it is
Um,
an
and
awesome show.
I loved doing it. And I've never played anyone like her. So Holly is one of my favorites to show and introduce people to. And then I was in the middle of filming the Aretha Franklin National Geographic Genius program, and that is hopefully coming in the fall, and we're filming the next couple of episodes. We were on episode 6 when it all shut down, and so we'll go back 6, 7, and 8, and then hopefully everyone can see what we've been doing.
So,
Yeah.
Genius will be a full series of Aretha Franklin.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
full season will be Aretha.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome,
Yeah,
awesome.
great episode. Yeah, and then there's a couple of things that we're looking at, a couple of movies and things, and I might be making a couple things and producing a couple things myself. Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
music too. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I
My
mean,
pleasure.
for your next project, please come back and talk to
Absolutely.
me. You are an absolute joy to talk to,
Thank
and
you.
you are so sweet. You deserve every ounce of success that you have and more. So I cannot wait until hear those words that you're a two-time Oscar winner.
Thank you.
I will be rooting for you for that day. So
Thank you so much. You're so kind. Have
thank you,
a wonderful
Cynthia.
day and happy holidays.
Thank you. You as well.